This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just going to take the first 18 and a half minutes off of this one, if that's okay with you.
Fuck. Seems like a viable strategy, right?
Like, I just, that's not Eric Johnson. That's not Grubauer. That's not Calvert. That's not anybody who's injured. You have to play the game. You have to show up. The game started the puck drop was like 4:12 Mountain Time. The Avalanche showed up at about 4:45.
Yeah. I mean,
just trying to make it dramatic or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm depressed. I'm depressed after that showing.
Yeah, I am too.
Like, as you can probably tell, my demeanor is just like so shot right now. Like, I don't get it.
Before we get into absolutely shit canning this hockey game, the only team that I have faith in a 3-game comeback right now in this situation is the Avs. Like, I believe they can do it. I want to believe they can do it. But if they play like Game 4, if they play like Game 1, if they play like Game 2, it ain't happening. Period. Pure and simple.
Yeah. I mean, you can't win games like that.
We got to watch the NBC broadcast today, so I think I get to watch and listen to everything you guys heard. Rantanen said it right before the game in the pregame interview before they got dressed. We fall asleep at points in the games in this series so far. You literally didn't even wake up for this one. Like, that is being down 3-0, whatever. 0 fucking shots after 18 and a half minutes.
Yeah, it was getting old, man. Like, just trying to get through that period was absolutely
and it's not like they weren't given a chance. They had 2 power plays.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there was numerous opportunities to even, get a shot. Like, I mean, there's differences in a bad period with some opportunities.
I'm glad.
That was just a bad period with no opportunities until the very end. But
I struggled with this episode on how I wanted to start it. I wanted to either do nothing, like I just did, or I wanted to say, welcome to the Colorado Coyotes podcast because we don't shoot the puck. And to be honest, like, I'm glad they had 0 shots after 18 and a half minutes because they were garbage. And if you just fluttered one on net just to say you got a shot, would have made me even more mad. Like, there was some shots in the second period that were like, why are you shooting that puck? This is the Avs most of the time take quality shots. Like, we saw in Game 3, we saw in Game 2, we saw it a bit in Game 1 too. The Avs had some higher than average periods of shots, and most of the time it's because they had lots of pressure. It wasn't because they were dumping it in from center on net, right? Like, they generally get good chances. There was some in the second where you're like, great. They got, 17 shots in the second, I think?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
That's great, but 5 of them were literally just throwing them on net, and you're not going to score. They weren't even to generate a rebound. They just weren't good shots. So I'm glad that there wasn't any of those just to, make the stats look okay in the first, because they were garbage. They were legitimate garbage in the first period.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we chatted after the first period briefly, and pretty much both had the vibe that that's literally the worst literally the worst playoff period I've seen from the Avs this
100%
playoffs. But honestly, that's probably one of the worst periods I've seen all year long. Like, that was atrocious. I don't know what, like, okay, yeah, we had like a couple days off.
There was a lot of.
I don't understand what happened. Like,
Listen, I get it, and we didn't really touch on it last episode. We were excited about the win. There's a lot of emotion in the last couple of days, last 3 days, going into this game. It's not that easy to just shake it off. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on for Kadri and Belmar and all the players of color right now, all the white players that are backing them too. And there should be. But if you're going to be in the NHL playoffs and you're going to decide to play hockey, you better play hockey. Right? And it's just, man, like, you wasted 2 goals from Chuchi.
yeah, we've been talking about him getting his first point, and he gets on the board in this game,
He was poised to be the story of this comeback.
Yeah.
Getting the first goal, tucking it under Hudobin's pad. He was poised to be the hero that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
And they just gave it away in, 30 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 goals that happened just like
32 seconds.
Yeah.
Of falling asleep, quote Rantanen.
Yeah.
32 seconds. And I've seen some crazy, like after the first goal, I saw some crazy takes about how Frankie didn't look very good. Dude, that first shot got tipped like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I wish Frankie would have been all over the rebound when he dove on it, and he just wasn't, and it was not a good look. But saying that was a bad goal by Frankie and saying it was a routine glove stop I saw on Twitter, I was not in agreement with that. But again, they get scored on at the 6 minutes and 18 seconds into the period, 8 minutes and 33 seconds into the period, and 10:45. That is a 5-minute span, and they're down 3-0 with no offense in the middle and before and
Zero.
Mostly after.
0, like nothing going for us, and just sloppy passing. Like, it's the exact same like start as game 3.
I joked with you, and I was like, solid 2% passing right now.
And that's like probably not even a fucking lie. That's probably legitimately was the numbers.
I legitimately want to see the NHL 21 little stat thing at the end of the first period to see the passing percentage and just see how bad it was, because it was awful.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to this team sometimes, because literally they're one of the best like breaking out and rush teams in the league. We know that. And then we see like both in the first period in game 3 and this first period in this game 4. It's just like, where the hell did the cohesiveness go? It's like 18 and a half minutes of players not knowing how to play with each other all of a sudden. Again, it's like, how does that happen? I don't understand. And I mean, I don't even really want to credit Dallas at all in that first period, because the Avs just played like absolute garbage. But I mean,
that was a comment in the THPN Slack chat was, wow, Dallas was on fire today. No. Hell no. The Avs were so bad, and this is not a biased take. They had 0 shots. They couldn't pass. It wasn't because Dallas was picking off passes. They were just straight up bad passes.
Oh, yeah. Like,
bad choices.
Simple, even 12-foot breakout passes, and we're missing them.
Or it was just like, oh, there's an open guy, or there's this guy that's beside a Dallas player. I'm going to pass to that guy.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It was such a struggle, man. Like, I've never been more like turned off from watching a hockey game in like the whole year. Legit. I was like, man, should I have just like not watched like the first half of this period, because I'm just going insane.
I feel like the only game that's made me feel similar to this was game 1.
Yeah. Yeah, game 1 was a struggle
because
too.
The Avs were not there in game 1 either.
Yeah.
Right? And this one was far worse until the glimmer of hope at the end of the first, when they got some legit chances, when Kadri should have buried. Now, I'm not going to give, like, I can't even remember who was in the booth for NBC, but the girl, when she said, like, it spun off his skate and stuff. Like, that was legit. That's why he missed it, and it's unfortunate. But, man, that would have turned the tide so much. But at the same time, like I said before with the 0 shots thing, I'm kind of glad they didn't get on the board, because that would have changed the whole thought process of this first period and going, well, at least it was 3-1. Dude, they deserve to be down 3-0 after 1. Pure and simple. And if it was the Avs just trying to add drama, they sure did.
Yeah.
Because they added a ton of drama to this one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then just to add salt to the wound in the first period, Corey Perry can suck my balls.
Suck my balls.
And the referees can join him.
Yeah.
Because, and I said this last time, I said this last episode, if, like, these guys know Corey Perry. They know he is pest number one. All he is doing is going out trying to draw penalties. And he drew 4 in this game. And I'm not going to take 2 of them away from him. But the first one, he gets his interference penalty, and the guys in the box said that it was interference on the Avs, and I was going to lose it.
Oh, yeah, right. The goalie interference.
I was going to lose it.
Yeah, I was like, first of all, they better not be fucking calling it on the Avs.
And then it's
Second of all, what the
Perry.
fuck are you watching?
That's on Perry. But then, the Avs are awful, so they didn't do anything on the power play, so he gets off the hook.
Yeah.
Then he comes out, and Frankie makes a routine stop, freezes the puck, and Corey Perry drives the net like an asshole and snows him a little bit and just plants his ass in front of the net. And then he gets dusted. No shit.
Yep.
Like, no duh, he gets dusted. That is every NHL defenseman's playbook.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to protect your net. And all Corey Perry is doing is trying to be a pain in the ass. And how NHL refs, if you want to give, who took that? Was it Graves?
I don't even remember.
Nemestikov.
Oh, yeah, Nemestikov.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Nemestikov takes the penalty on Perry. How Corey Perry doesn't get one there too, just for unsportsmanlike, just for being a prick. If you're going to give Nemestikov one, how you don't give Perry one, I don't understand. The one in game 2 is a little different story. The one in game 2, he actually hits Frankie. And then starts a scrum. So it's a legitimate slash that should have been called, and it's an absolute joke. We've been over that. This one is just pure and simple, like, you've already watched him do this. All he's trying to do is this. Don't give me the crap of, well, just don't hit him. And, that's easier said than done. But if they don't hit him this time, then he just comes back, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. And eventually he hits Frankie, runs him over, whatever.
Yeah.
This is playoff hockey. I have listened to Brian Burke say it 100 times that the reffing in this playoffs has been so soft.
Oh, yeah.
On numerous occasions, there's been I think it was the tripping call that Perry drew, the fourth of his penalties that he drew.
Yep.
Dude, that is the softest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that was so soft, dude. And it's like, it's Perry again. Like, and yeah, like,
so I guess
the stick like just touches his
Actually,
skate.
I'm going to take 3 of them away from him.
Yeah.
Because the freaking McKinnon one is a goddamn joke.
Oh, man, the more I watch that replay, the more I'm just looking at it like, wow.
Dude, and the fact that he was trying to string it into a 5.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, I hope to God he's actually hurt. I hope he rung your bell. That was a snaky move, dude. I don't know how they
as bad
call
as
that.
it sounds to wish for somebody to be hurt.
We're allowed to wish
Corey
Perry to be hurt.
is Corey Perry.
Yeah. You know how many years he's been doing this shit?
There is a reason why fans of hockey, period, were so jacked when Corey Perry had the walk of shame at the outdoor game.
Yeah.
There is a reason.
That was great.
And the fact that he's going to he leans into a reverse check. How many times has Corey Perry done a reverse hit and not got called for it?
Oh, yeah.
How many? We've talked about it on this podcast at length. At length, interference calls.
Oh, yeah.
And what have I said every single time I've said, guys, they got to call interference? If you're playing the puck, it's a different story. McKinnon plays the puck, reverse hits like what happens 100 times a day in the NHL.
And it's not even like a reverse hit. It's just like I'm using my body right now.
I'm protecting myself from you crushing me into the boards.
This is how I protect the puck.
And Nathan McKinnon, if they wanted to call it head, like an illegal check to the head or something, I'm not going to be okay with it. But
at least it makes more sense.
They chose interference.
Yeah.
How many times does the reverse hit not get called? It's an absolute joke.
Yeah.
But again, just like I said about game 2, this was not on the refs. This game is so far from being on the refs. I am pissed off at the refs. I am annoyed that Corey Perry can somehow still get away with this crap. I'm a Leafs fan. I'm watching it on Twitter with other fans that are watching the Boston Bruins get away with shit against Tampa, getting away with shit all over the place. It's like watching a mirror.
Yeah.
It's like watching the same crap. And it's like, These refs know the guy. They know it. They know he's a pain in the ass. Why is it that it's always the retaliation that they call? Like, they know that he does something in front of it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
you're
been
right
there.
though, because we can't blame the refs on everything.
No,
we
when
can
you-
definitely bitch about it,
You can bitch about it 100%.
and we did.
You took
gonna
18 and a half minutes off. It's all on you.
But yeah, I mean, there's too many situations in this game that literally made me go, if this team wants to stay in the playoffs, like,
You know what would be really cool, though? You know what would be really cool? Rather than bitching about the refs, you do one thing, like we said last episode, play between the whistles. That's number one. Then the first Perry penalty doesn't happen. The first power play goal doesn't happen. But you know what else would be really sweet? Killing a friggin' penalty.
yeah, today was rough. And I mean, we kind of,
Like,
we weren't live yet, but we were talking just like about the comments, like, yeah, we need Calvert back. Oh my God. We need Calvert back, something fierce on the power play or penalty kill right now too. And like him and Belly all year were just so good on the penalty kill. And like without Calvert, like he's caused a big hole there for sure. Like they were even throwing O'Connor on the penalty kill a little bit today. And it's,
well, like,
it's just
and
like, oh man.
EJ is a huge loss on the PK
Oh,
too.
100%.
But again,
yeah.
that's the thing with this team. This team didn't have a good PK to begin with. Right? We talked about it before the Arizona series.
Yeah.
It's just regressed to the norm. That's it. That's all it did.
That's kind of true because it was pretty good. And I mean, Arizona power play, not even close to as potent as Dallas Stars is.
But even then,
But-
like the Dallas Stars PP isn't that good either. It's just the fact that they actually showed up for hockey finally.
Yeah. And I don't know. Honestly, it feels like Dallas is just adapting better in this series. And that's like legit
think-
what it's coming down to.
Do you think it's adapting? It's that they're adapting better, or is it that just the Avs aren't adapting at all?
Well, that's the thing is legitimately there's so many different areas that I can nitpick that it's like definition of fucking insanity.
We could
try
be
the same
here-
thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's the same team. We're trying to do the same things over and over again.
What was part of the problem in the first period? They couldn't make passes, so then they regressed to being a one-man show.
Right.
And you're never going to be that against the Dallas Stars. They're not going to let you.
The one man rush up the ice doesn't work.
And it was like 10
Does not
minutes of
work.
that crap.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you saw McKinnon trying to do it again, like we've talked about. He gets on his little independent kind of rush phase of the game, and he just tries to go and do it. Honestly, McKinnon didn't have a great game today.
No.
There's a lot of issues I saw.
And
with
there's
his
a
game
reason
today,
why his multi-game point streak's over.
which is super unfortunate because that was fucking historic. And he played, honestly, I can't really bitch about any other games that he's played all that much. There was times, of course, everyone's had their time, but tonight he just didn't look overly good in a lot of areas on the ice.
I was really excited for angry McKinnon after he took that penalty against Perry, and it just didn't really happen. And I was like, again, it rather than it turning into I'm gonna put the puck, like I'm gonna will the puck into the net, whether it's passing or scoring or whatever. Instead of that, it just turned into I'm gonna do it all myself.
Yeah.
The
And-
selfish McKinnon.
Yeah, and
Right, and
I
it's-
mean, the Dallas covers rush really well. We know that. We've seen it like all of these games now. They cover our rush really well. That's, one of our strengths, obviously. They've adapted pretty well to cutting us down at the blue line. We got to chip in more pucks. First of all, chip in some pucks and get some bodies on the forecheck. Like, I don't know how many times I've already said that in this series, but you got to get the forecheck going.
That was one of the frustrating things in the first two.
Like, you got to do something.
They couldn't pass, so rather than pass the puck into the corner and go get it and beat up some bodies, at least they just gave it away.
Like, simplify it, man. We're like, yeah, we like to be a creative team, but when it's not working, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot.
So the second goal of the game, we kind of touched on the first one, just a weird tip that went to Frank's glove and then turned into a shit show and it goes in the net. The second one that's on the power play, this is where you knew Frankie's night was going to be tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Frankie sees it and just the rebound control was just not there.
Yeah, he was. I mean, as much as I can't really put most of this game on Frankie, he could have been better. We know he's better than that.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, your goalie has to be your best penalty killer. The oldest cliche in the book. Almost as old as get the puck deep.
Puck's deep.
Yeah. But the second one, man, like that just can't be a rebound. That just can't be a rebound.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the third one, this one's definitely not on Frankie. And they kind of touched on it on the NBC intermission where they said, like, straight up, like, once they saw the Ben tip, they're like, okay, he can have another goal against before we pull him, kind of thing. Which
and
is
that's
fair.
what I felt too. Yeah.
Whoa, this is insanity. You're saying it again. Why is Ryan Graves just standing there doing nothing? All you have to do is take Jamie Benn's stick away.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to do. If he was playing the man even a little bit, that's not a tip. And it's just like this one. I'm gonna put it on Graves, but I'm also gonna put it on Bednar and his staff because it's clear that this team, like we just said, has not adapted to the Dallas Stars power play. You have Pavelski, you have Ben, you have Sagan, you have Radulov. All four guys very capable at tipping pucks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to let them stand there? Jamie Benn, like Ryan Graves is protecting the back door where there isn't anyone.
Yeah.
It's not like there was a guy he was covering and he had to pick between one of the two and you let the goalie take the shot.
Yeah.
There wasn't anyone there. He's just covering air.
He's sitting in the easy spot. That's where he is.
Yeah, and it's just...
I'm in position.
A, you can't win playoff games by being easy in front of the net.
Yeah.
And B, you're not going to have a very good penalty kill if you're easy in front. It's pure and simple. You have like somebody on the ice has to protect two guys, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And if you're just leaving a guy open, then you're really screwed. Because then it might as well be a 5-on-3.
Yeah, and also, like we've talked about before, I mean, I feel like we call all this shit that's happening, man. But where does all the shots come from on the Dallas power play?
I feel like
Is there a trend here?
I feel like I remember the word.
Yeah.
It starts with a P. A point.
Oh, yeah,
right,
the point shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
With all those tippers in front. Like, okay, so now let's compare.
Again, Jared Bednar and the staff have got to adapt. And if they don't adapt, this series is over tomorrow.
Oh.
Or
I mean,
today if you're listening to this on Monday.
Yeah, which is so scary. And, of course, we got a fucking back-to-back, which, honestly, I feel like this is probably the one that you want a back-to-back because just get back at it. The less thinking about the failures of that game, the better.
And, like, we're going to get to it, but Cale Makar needs to have
Oh,
a good
man,
night's sleep.
so brutal.
But
he's having some unfortunate plays in this playoffs.
But that wasn't just on him.
No.
That was on the guy that got yanked.
But, yeah, let's compare the Dallas Stars coverage in their D zone to the I almost said I don't even know what I just
the Avalanche.
The Avalanche. The Avalanche's defensive zone coverage. Both teams, good, real good point.
Players.
Point producers on the point. Creating a lot of stuff off point shots and just of being up high and creating that. Dallas knows. And everybody in the league should know that the Avs create most of their dangerous opportunities by cycling up high.
Yeah.
That's been our trademark all year.
It's either McKinnon or Makar that's up at the point.
Slash both.
Yeah, slash both. Or maybe Rantanen squeezed up there, whatever. But yeah, it goes up there.
Right. So what have they done? They put that they always have a forward tracking, shadowing who's ever at the top. If it's Makar, if it's Graves, if it's McKinnon. And it's shadowing.
It's the I don't know if you want to call it the evolution of penalty kills, but it's turned from being the box into being the diamond.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing about being in the diamond is the place where you end up getting beat a lot is the backdoor play, right? But the Dallas Stars haven't played that system. They haven't played the backdoor play. The Avs play the backdoor play, and they haven't been able to make it work, really. Yeah. Cale Makar, his goal was that, basically, right?
Yeah.
From a ridiculous pass by McKinnon. But Yeah, right? Like, if you have that one guy out at the point all the time playing the diamond, you got two guys. You're basically covering the dots, right? Like, you got your two middle guys covering the dots, and you got a guy in front.
Yeah.
Guess what? That guy in front covers Jamie Benn and covers that stick, or whether it's Pavelski, whatever.
Right.
No
free sticks.
You don't even have to move the guy necessarily, right? Because that's the thing. We've said it, right? There's not a whole bunch of defensemen on the Avs that can just move a guy like Jamie Benn in front of the net.
He's a big boy.
But if you take his stick away, he can't tip that shot. All you got to do is fuck with the stick. Yeah. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Especially when you know that the point shot is coming. The first thing you need to do on that puck is go into that point is find his stick and stick press the living fuck out of it.
Right? And it's just like, to me, this is a coaching staff issue. This is a systems issue. I mean, you got to hope that the players can adapt on their own and not be dumb, but hockey players are kind of dumb.
Some of them.
And apparently in this series, a lot of them.
Yeah. And
right? And it's stuff like that, but like, ugh. We could talk about it all day.
Yeah. I mean,
but like, yeah. I cannot believe that Bednar has not pointed this out. I can't. I hope not.
Like, I hope he has pointed it out, but also maybe not, because it's like, well, goddamn, we're not responding very well. If that's the case.
This like collapsing PK is just not working.
Yeah, we gotta have.
And they're still doing it.
And it's funny because we were playing so aggressive on our PK against Arizona for like the entirety of that series, and then we get into this.
They're like, oh, these guys are actually good at offense, so we gotta like just play passive.
And like, yeah, we want Calvert, and he's important on that PK, but there's no goddamn way that you're telling me that someone else on this fucking team can't do the same role that he does on the PK.
Well, I mean, exactly. Ryan Graves skates well. Cale Makar skates well. Great. Gerard skates well. Why can't and the forwards, Belmar, Compher, Nieto, Jost, these guys skate well.
Yeah.
Play aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, use your wheels, man. And, I mean, we needed that desperate mentality a hell of a lot more on the PK tonight. And the thing is, I don't know if, like, what are you trying to conserve energy or something? Like, there should be no energy conservation in your thoughts. You put all of your fucking power into not letting that go in the back of the net.
Do you remember playing minor hockey where it was so like the saving energy mentality came out on the power play?
Yeah.
And like PKs were always like way more effective than the power plays, because like the four guys on the penalty kill were like giving like 100% effort, and the power play was just like, we're up a man, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The Avs are just like, we're down a man, it doesn't matter if we get scored on.
Yeah, I guess we're taking 2 minutes off here. Actually, you know what, guys? Let's make it less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's get back to even strength here quicker.
But like, I don't know, man. The first period, I could talk about how bad the first period was for like 2 days.
And like, honestly, like, I feel like we could talk about something more than the first period right now, because we're still talking about it. But holy fuck, if that ain't the Achilles heel right there, and how the fuck are you supposed to continuously come back like the shit show that we saw in the third period last game? That is not going to happen every game.
And it was funny because, right, they were like, Brett said it too while we were watching the game, and they said it on the broadcast. And they're like, man, this is eerily similar to what Calgary did to Dallas when they lost 7-3.
Yeah.
And then Brett's like, yeah, 7-3, here we go. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then 3-2 happened.
And it was looking good.
And I was like, shit, Brett. I'm like, 7-3 might actually happen. No. Mm-mm.
And that's the thing, is like, yeah, we can talk about how we almost came back in this game. We know that's how we fucking play. That's how we're supposed to play. I don't care about that. I know that's good. But we get that, like, what did we get that tonight? Like 27 minutes of this game?
And that's the thing, right? That's the problem with this game finishing 5-4.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it looks respectable. This was 5-0, basically.
And honestly, Dallas didn't play that well in this game either.
No.
There was a lot wrong with their game, too. I'll tell you that. Like, and, yeah, that's...
But, like, if you don't play for 20 minutes, you're just never going to win. And everybody can joke about, like, not having a full 60 in this. This was, like, the most brutal not playing a full 60 I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. It was bad.
And the one thing the Avs did tonight that I don't have to talk about was score on a damn 5-on-3.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if they didn't score
Dude,
on
if
that?
they didn't score in that,
I would have been like,
love-
oh, yeah, I'm just going to close my notebook and I'm leaving because this game is fucking over.
You could have just not talked, and I would have just been fine to ramble for the whole time.
Like, yeah, I mean, right when we got that 5-on-3, that was at the end of the first, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, if we don't score on here, I guess, or no, that was the end of the second one.
End of the second, yeah.
My
sorry.
bad. Pretty much just like, yeah, if we don't score on this 2 minutes with our fucking power play
straight
unit,
up, like full 2 minutes, 2 separate penalties, like
Yeah.
no question about it.
which is great. They actually made the right calls there. I was
They-
happy, and I was so happy that they got that second one because
Yep.
I was like, dude, that's a blatant hook too. You better get that. And they
That
did.
was I thought that was gonna go in the net. Like that
Yeah.
saved the goal.
like
I
could've,
think.
yeah.
Or very like Hudobin would have to make a real nice save.
Mhm.
But anyway, I guess before we get too crazy, Val, like we said, actually no. Even before that, this is where the hope came back. Oh my God, we might actually be able to come back. When Pierre-Edouard Bellemare almost scored with the most ridiculous puck retrieval through his feet up to his stick, and then a nice chance on Hudobin.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Whoa,
Yeah.
wait. They came to play in this period. This is good. And then, like, that was a sweet play. And
That
I'm
was
really
sick.
sad that Bellemare didn't score. He was
Me
just in
too.
too tight. Is what it is. He got
Yeah,
what
he
he
just
could.
ran out of real estate. Yeah.
It was sweet. It was
It was
not
a
the greatest
sick
pass.
play with his skate.
Yeah,
it was so good.
For a guy like him, I was like,
Fourth liner with more skill than most people have shown tonight.
but yeah, then Val gets on the board on a scramble, and he ends up tucking in, and Brett was like, I think Hudobin got that. I was like, no, okay. They scored.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have.
Chuchi, he got on the board
Chuchi.
finally.
Yep.
He got on the board.
We were having dinner, and I was like almost like spilt my whole plate of food.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see him. He had a much better game too. I don't know. He isn't really popped as much as we would have liked. It's like, I don't know. We saw kind of tweets about that, like if anybody, felt that break worse or like ended up worse for it.
It was Val.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, like we came out in the second period. It was a pretty good period. Like you said, there were some shots that were, pretty low quality and whatnot. But honestly, we were rolling. We were
good.
dominating.
They looked good finally.
Yeah. We outplayed the crap out of Dallas in the second period.
Yeah.
We know we could do that. We could do that for a fucking full game if
Yeah.
we could play the right way. It's just that's what's honestly. It's the play in the second period that was honestly making me mad because I'm like, why can't we do this?
Why did this take
all the time?
25 minutes to show up?
And yeah, it's absolutely infuriating. And
that's the problem. That's what every team and I get it, right? Like every team that's in the playoffs, every team in the NHL has this kind of problem. Consistency is the hardest thing, especially in hockey where you're playing another team that's trying to stifle your consistency. I
Right.
get that. And Dallas is like the prime target for that. Like the game that's on right now, the Islanders and Philly. The Islanders play that exact frustrating style where you feel like you're not playing up to par because they're just killing everything. Whether it's the trap in the middle of the neutral zone or whatever it is, doesn't matter. It makes you feel like you suck.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think a lot of it was the Avs, and they figured out how to get around the Stars in the second, and it was good, and everything was fine. Frankie didn't really get tested too much in the second. Like, there was a couple nice plays. There was that really nice back check by Graves after he gave the puck away on the 4-on-4.
right, that was sketchy as hell, dude.
Oh, my God.
This plays like that, dude. It's like completely absent mind. Like, where's your head at?
Yeah, you
that
can't make
play.
that play.
Dude,
But-
that's perfect to send someone on a breakaway.
Again, it's kind of like they said with the Makar thing at the end. You got to remember that these guys are still young, very young.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's why EJ is such a huge loss.
Yeah.
But that's also why you got to hope for a guy like Cole to step it up and be the new veteran presence.
Yeah.
It's not as easy
Easier said than
It's
done.
easier said. Yeah, I was trying to say it differently, and it just. I'm drunk, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I feel like it. Anyway, it's easier said than done. We'll just go with the standard.
Yeah.
But again, you look at cup-winning teams. Every cup-winning team has battles with injuries. Every single one.
Yeah.
Now, most cup-winning teams don't lose their starting goalie. But we knew going into this that the Avs had a 1A, 1B, and
I guess we got a 1C now.
hypothetically, they should have been okay, and like that's one of the areas where it wouldn't have been too bad.
Yeah.
That hurt us today, and it's hard to overcome losing a starting goalie.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
And we
But
missed that.
Every Stanley Cup contending team, every year has guys that just step up when a hole opens up.
Yeah.
And the 6-man decor on this Avalanche team hasn't had that guy. Right? They just haven't had that guy since EJ went down. I don't even know if they can. I don't even know if that guy's available, but it's got to happen. It just does. It's just one of those things, right? Like I honestly I don't think, and it's a tall task, but I don't think they can win 3 straight games if some defenseman doesn't just play out of his mind defensively.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we need a solid defensive game, too.
I don't mean Cale Makar. I'm not saying that Cale Makar's been a stud defensively in this series either. He hasn't.
Yeah.
But you need more than the one guy to be a stud on D. And I mean on D. Right?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I was thinking about, too, throughout this game, just when it comes to the physical battle, like the Stars are a taxing team. Like Vegas is.
Yep.
Like I'm pretty sure those are probably the 2 most physical teams in the playoffs at this point.
Yep. I would have said
And
St. Louis,
sizable.
but they didn't play that game this year.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, is it worth fighting fire with fire against the Dallas Stars when it comes to physicality?
What did we say after game 1? This series is who plays their game the most. The Dallas Stars have sucked the Avs into their game almost every game.
Right.
Like the majority of game 3 too.
Yep.
And guess what? They're the ones with a 3-1 lead. Again, the Avs got to play between the whistles. The Dallas Stars are sucking them into something that's just not their game.
Right.
We heard it in the pre-game or whatever, the exhibition game, whatever you want to call it, from the altitude guys. This is a series that the Avs have to play between the whistles. And they did just fine against Arizona because Arizona didn't give a damn.
Right.
And yes, it's easier said than done with guys like Corey Perry, Jamie Benn, Como. Like they have a bunch of shit disturbers.
Little
They do,
shysters.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, the Avs, I saw it on Twitter. Like Calvert's not there. He's the edge. Okay, if you don't have it, don't get in it. They're not hurting anyone.
Right.
It's not an offensive issue. They scored 4 goals today.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not an offensive issue. You don't have to, like you said, fight fire with fire. It's stupid.
Yeah, that's exactly the whole vibe I was getting out of it.
I don't know why they feel like they've got to do it.
Yeah, and
That's not where they're losing the game.
And there's a difference between throwing the body around and then chasing hits, right?
You know what this feels like?
What?
The Jets. Where, like, not early, but like a couple of years ago, the Jets were the most penalized team in the NHL.
Yeah.
They were chasing crap.
Yeah.
They were trying to be the shit disturbing team, but they couldn't hack the discipline to not take penalties.
Right.
The Avs aren't used to playing the pain in the ass game, and they're taking penalties doing it.
Right. And there's been a lot of careless penalties for sure.
A lot.
And over emotional retaliation penalties, right? And yeah, that's the vibe I've got, like, because if you look at the games and the times in these games when the Avs are playing well, we're not being that physical.
No.
We're playing our rush game. We're playing, we are physical to the point of very heavy forecheck.
Yeah.
But it's all for those puck battles, right?
Do you think Corey Perry is thinking about anyone on the Avs right now?
Not really.
Do you think he gives a shit about Nathan McKinnon hitting him in the head?
Yeah, no, he got exactly what he wanted.
He got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, you're not going to outplay them in that area. So stop trying.
Yeah. That's exactly my feelings towards that too, because it's just not working.
Now, before we get into the last depressing part of this game, we have a little internal promo again this week, as usual, for the Hockey Podcast Network. This week, we're going with the New York Rangers show, the Broadway Boys. I mean, they're obviously a little quiet at the moment. They haven't really done much aside from win the lottery lately.
Yeah, I guess.
But give them a listen.
I'm James.
And I'm Andy.
And we host the Broadway Boys podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network.
Every Monday we talk New York Rangers, news from around the league, and all aspects of the hockey lifestyle.
It's all power, play goal!
It's never been a better time to be a Rangers fan, so tune in and join us as we break down games, prospects, rumors, and more as we follow the Blue Shirts on their quest towards the Stanley Cup.
They got a save! What a save by Lundqvist!
Our takes are all our own,
And not always legally binding.
but you're not going to want to miss all the guests, rants, speculation, and the occasional overreaction.
He goes to the net! He scores! He scores! The Rangers win!
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Broadway Boys Pod and catch new episodes every Monday morning on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and more.
And this one will last a lifetime!
So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, follow, and listen to the Broadway Boys podcast today, and be sure to check out all the exciting content on the Hockey Podcast Network.
Oh, baby!
Whoa.
Right on.
Never been a better time, he says. I mean,
I was gonna beat that too, but I was just like, I'll let it go. I'm just kidding.
I feel like Steve Dangle right now. For those that don't know Steve Dangle, he's a Leafs YouTuber and now works at Sportsnet doing crazy crap. He has a book called "This Team Is Ruining My Life" about the Leafs. And while I normally feel that way about the Leafs, and this year as well as normal, the Avalanche have jumped right up there in the taking years off my life department.
Oh, seriously.
And this is why when I became an NFL fan, I jumped on the Patriots wagon, because I felt like I deserved, after the time and
I need a winning team.
the time I put in as a shitty Leafs fan, I deserved to pick a winning team.
Yeah, I'm jumping on a bandwagon of a good team.
I didn't jump off of any other NFL team. I just jumped straight on the
Yeah.
Patriots. It was the first team I cheered for, and it was a good run, and I was very happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I was hoping to do that same thing with the Avalanche, and they're making it difficult.
Yeah.
They're just going down 3-1 for drama, right?
Sure. Let's
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
they're gonna do this historic comeback, win 3 games in a row.
Now we're just gonna win 11 games in a row.
Just pump
the
it
cup.
in. Just pump it up. Just gonna
fine.
pump the Stars. No problem.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yes. Okay. Tomorrow. So yeah, 7-1 victory tomorrow. You heard it here first. Okay. No, I can't make that kind of crazy fucking call. There's no way. Because we're letting in more than one goal, if we're gonna be honest here.
That's true.
Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the third period, where they started off good. The end of the power play, so they had the 5-on-3. That was when did it start?
36 seconds left in the
36
second.
seconds left or something. So they had like a minute and a half.
That goal was sick, I will say too. It was fucking sweet
The
to
McCarr
see.
goal was good.
Beautiful.
It was a great no-look pass by McKinnon. It was beautiful.
That's how we need our power play to be all the time. I mean, it was a 5-on-3.
They carried it into the third. They had a
Yeah.
really they finished off the power play strong. They didn't
For
bury. Sure. There was some chances. Oh, Hudobin made some nice saves.
Yeah, there
It
was a
nice.
good few shots there for sure.
But that being said, when the Dallas Stars go 3 for 6 on a power play, the Avs can't go 1 for 5, and that one being a 5-on-3 can't be.
Well,
This
yeah,
is-
I mean, you lose. How many times have you heard it? You lose a special teams battle, you usually lose the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
It's definitely the case, and it's becoming so much more apparent how important it is in this series.
Dude, it's not even the series, it's the playoffs, period.
Yeah.
It's the farther you get in the playoffs, the more it's important.
Yeah.
Because the teams are so much closer in talent. And if you, like, again, I thought the Avs would be in a very different position, right? We called 6 games for a reason.
Yeah.
But again, after the regular season, if you thought that the Avs and the Stars weren't a similar team, in talent-wise,
of similar skill level for sure,
you're crazy.
and ability to win. Yep.
I just felt like the Avs were on fire, and they just haven't been in this series, right? And it's a shame. It's a real shame when you watch these 2 third-period goals by the Dallas Stars go in. Because while different, they're both hot garbage.
Yeah.
The Rupe Hintz goal to go up 4-2 and basically end the Avs' chances. Now, again, the Avs scoring 2 goals to come back, not unlikely. The way they played in the second period, I had faith that they could have potentially still done it. But going from 3-2 to 4-2 is a very emotionally damning thing. And just the way it happened. Frankie, again, just not covering up a rebound, just not sucking it in.
Yeah, everything was just bouncing off.
All 4 Avalanche below the hash marks, basically laying on top of Frankie, Comfort being one of them,
Everyone's just throwing their body out.
trying to just get in the way.
Yeah.
But the one thing that really makes this goal happen is when everybody gets up and Dallas gets the puck on the outside again, JT Comfort plants his ass where he got up. He doesn't go out to Rupe Hintz, where he should have been. That is his man. He just planted his ass on top of the crease and stood there,
Yeah.
covering the easy stuff.
Yeah.
Air.
The easy spot. Yeah.
And then Frankie
Yeah.
just gets beat by a good shot.
And yeah, man, you give someone like that enough time.
He's going to beat your goalie,
That's what happens, man, for sure.
right?
Yeah.
And it's just,
It's tough to watch. It's
I
tough
understand
to
it's
watch
a
that.
scramble and stuff, and I understand, but again, it's just, if you're on the PK and you're not working your ass off to cover a guy, you're fucking your PK over.
Yeah. I mean, that's your job. That's your job, man. Yeah, it's
Right?
and it's so tough to watch plays like that develop, or the lack of play, I guess, develop when we're in the middle of trying to come back in this game. And
Yeah.
it's like over and over in this series, we've just shot ourselves in the foot when it comes to like losing momentum with shitty penalties.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that that was like a super shitty penalty and it was kind of weak. That Jost, I think it was a tripping call on Jost, right?
This is the Klingberg one.
Yeah, and it's just like, but still, like, you can't get caught doing that, you know? Like,
No.
it's a penalty all day. It's gonna get called, and it's just repetitively, and it was so much of this game was just us. Like, yeah, sure, Dallas played a decent game. I'm not even gonna say that they played a good game, like I said earlier, but the Avs played a atrocious game.
This is a game that the Avalanche shouldn't have lost. Just, they gave it away,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like this is another one, right? How many times Arizona was the game they lost against Arizona? That game, it was like, well, that whole series, Arizona didn't score goals unless the Avs gave them the chance.
Pretty much, yeah.
This game felt like the Avs just gave it away,
Yeah.
right? And it's frustrating. And it was frustrating at 4-2.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the next goal happens and you're like, well,
5-2 happens, and you might as well turn off the TV.
okay, so that's not going to happen tonight. Yeah. And it's poor
and
Makar.
like it sucks because it's Makar, and it's kind of like the empty net goals
Oh, yeah, for sure.
that you're just like, man, those are some bad plays by Makar. But you know who could have saved Makar some headache? the goalie who stops the puck behind the net and doesn't make an effort to stop it from rolling around.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm so glad that you just started to talk about that too, because I kind of forgot. But when Hutchinson comes in, the first thing I notice, honestly, puck rims around the back of the net. Holy fuck. Our goalie's playing the puck. Whoa. Okay, now think about this.
They said it early in this series, I believe, at least on our broadcast. Philip Grubauer was, I think, the least of goalies in the playoffs. He played the puck the least.
Yeah.
And I don't think Frankie's much higher.
No, definitely not. And it's so noticeable. Immediately, I was like, oh, yeah. So this is in my opinion, important fucking variable at this point in the NHL.
Yeah, it's definitely something. It's one of the intangibles, right? Like, obviously, if you don't stop the puck, I don't give a shit if you play the puck or not.
True.
But it's the Ben Bishop factor, right? Because he does it too.
Yeah.
Carey Price does it really well. I mean,
Mike Smith
does it really well, but he doesn't stop the puck all the time. So
true,
that's why Koskinen
But
played
in his prime.
In his prime, yeah, right? Pecorine, same. Pecorine is, I'd say, the biggest. Pecorine and Mike Smith are the biggest examples of, I just want you to stop the puck first, please.
Right.
And then we can deal with playing it. But it saves your defenseman a lot. But B, like on rim arounds, like on dump-ins, being able to stop it behind the net rather than the far winger being able to just run the boards and grab it.
Right.
It's a very different thing to your dump-in for offense, right?
Right.
But yeah, like I said it when they said that about Grubauer. I was like, man, how have I not really noticed that? And I feel like I'm numb to it. I didn't really notice that they didn't play the puck much.
It's just because it wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a play that we did, and it wasn't something that we even thought or talked about.
And, most of the time it's not necessary because of the puck movers that the Avs have on the back end. You don't need, because that's another thing with like the Mike Smith, especially in Edmonton, right? It's so nice for them to have a guy like Mike Smith back there because they don't have the puck moving defenseman necessarily, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Avs do, so maybe it's less noticeable, whatever. But yeah, Frankie goes out, stops the puck, but in the what's the below average skill wise of him playing the puck, he just doesn't even care.
Yeah.
I think maybe he was just worried, like, I got to get back. Because then on top of him not corralling the puck and making it sit down nice and flat for Makar, he also doesn't look at the puck as he's going back to the net.
Yeah.
And that's the double whammy of why he got fucked over on this play.
For sure. Yeah.
And why, as shitty as Makar is going to feel about it, I don't put it on him. I don't think anybody's going to put the loss on Makar. Because the fact that this was, again, a 5-4 game is just makes it look better.
Yeah, we were lucky.
It was over.
We were lucky to be there. We were lucky to be a goal back at that point.
Right? So I'm not going to put that on him. I hope he doesn't put it on himself. I hope he's going to feel like shit though. Like,
for sure.
Whatever you hope for, he's not feeling good right now.
Yeah.
But again, it was just a really tough night for Frankie. Right? Just really, really tough. And the question is, should Bednar have pulled him after the fourth one?
Does it even matter? I don't know.
Maybe
it
right?
does.
Because this is the thing, right? Because I said it. The moment that fifth goal went in, I looked at Brett, and I was like, that's going to be the game winner. Just watch. Yeah. I'm like, this one's going to hurt. This one is going to hurt. And yeah, they got the fourth goal that could have tied the game with like 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter because it was a 2-goal lead. Dallas would have been defending differently. Mm-hmm. But on the score sheet, that's exactly what happened. And it's just one of those. Again, every single goal counts. And that's why, like, that's what the fourth one felt like. When the fourth one went in, that one felt like this is the one that we can't get back. Mm-hmm. But then the fifth one happened, and the way it happened, man, that is hockey gods 101. They're like, "This, you're gonna pay for that."
Yeah, like So you guys don't deserve this win. Here you go.
And I'm gonna make
Take
you
your
really,
medicine.
really feel bad about it,
Yeah.
right? And it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that the Avs made it a thing
Yeah.
because, like, I mean, again, Nichushkin's goal, absolute horseshit luck,
Oh yeah.
right? His second one,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was just like
a double deflection that just posted in basically,
and like you said, yeah, we could have fucking used one of those earlier.
Yep.
To like level out the
Right.
the stress.
I mean, level out the stress, but like, how many of those have like horseshit bounces has Dallas got this series?
yeah.
The Avs
Their
finally
fair
get
share.
one, but it's basically right after the Avs just put one in their own net,
Yeah.
right? And doesn't even matter. It didn't even matter that Nichushkin scored. Really.
Not really. At the end of the day, no.
Like, yeah, okay.
Do
The
you
Avs
see his
pulled it-
face too on both his goals? He's like, "Fuck us, boys! Like, I don't even care right now."
Yeah.
I honestly, that breaks my heart.
It does. It does.
Because whenever Chuchi scores,
love
man,
Chuchi.
he just goes ape shit like during the season every time. But yeah, he no happiness coming from those goals, man. And because, I mean, if there's anything that we can say for sure is that every one of those players knows how bad they played today. And by golly, you gotta fucking know one more. That's it.
They have no more
That's it.
chances.
You have nothing to fall back on now. So you play one more game with that kind of performance, you're done.
Yep.
You're going home. That's it.
This playoff
And-
beard, all your playoff beards, they're gone.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe this is the kind of desperation that the Avs need to pull some fucking shit out of their ass somehow here. I don't know. It's hard to believe at this point because we just can't put a full game together. But I don't know. Maybe this is the little kick in the pants that we need to maybe go on a run here and win 3 in a row. It's gonna be a fucking hard time, but it's the situation we're in now. So
It is what it is. It's rough. It's rough because it's one thing when the other team beats you, right? It's one thing if the Dallas Stars
played out of their mind or something.
just played well.
Yeah.
Just played well. They did everything right. You know, the 2-1 game or whatever, so like the regular season Dallas wins, where the Avs had 40 shots and Ben Bishop was just out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it, and that's the terrifying thing about
Yeah.
this. I'm not obviously Ben Bishop's not in. I don't think we'll see him. That being said, Game 7 may change all kinds of stuff if it gets there. But all it takes is Hudobin to go out of his mind one time.
Mm-hmm.
One time, and it's over.
And yeah, that's probably, that's one of the more scarier things at this point
Yeah.
is that something like that can end it now. Whereas, if we put in some better efforts here, we're obviously not in this position. But that's all it takes at this point. And we got 3 fucking wins we got to pull out of our ass here. And yeah, all it takes is one real good Khudobin show up and performance for him. We could have, 45 shots. And if we get 1 goal or something, we're probably not winning that game. And that's going to be it. So,
And what else do the Avs need? What Frankie was so good at in the regular season, bouncing back mid-game
yeah.
after a bad goal. I was hoping for that today. Didn't happen. I need Frankie to really bounce back tomorrow.
Do we go Hutchinson?
Hell no.
Yeah.
You got to be out of your mind.
100%. 100%. That
I
was his
think-
first playoff appearance.
I was going to
which
say,
actually
that was his
surprised me.
first playoff appearance.
That surprised me a bit. But then I was thought back, and I'm like,
Backup
yeah, I
goalies
guess-
don't play. It didn't. Like, it. This is such a new thing where, like, a second goalie plays for a team.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, this is an injury circumstance, but Frankie played against Arizona, right? Like,
Mhm.
obviously it's because of back-to-backs, kind of. But, like, right? Like, Grubauer played on the championship-winning Capitals team where Holtby just didn't play well, right? Like, it's turning into that two-goalie league. It's seeping into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're about to watch it. I think Fleury's playing tonight for Vegas,
Wow.
right? Like, it's just
They
one
took
of
the
those
sword
things.
out of his back. Wow.
Yeah, right. But it's becoming that thing where 2 goalies play. But while like Hutchinson's been in the league, he's 30, I think they said. So he's been in the league for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Most of that time, he has never been classified as the 2 guy. And he's never been classified as that, we can lean on this guy if the starter's not going.
Yeah.
Right? That's
He
the
only
thing with
really had
Hutchinson.
one really
decent year.
And also played enough games to even call it like a season, you know?
Right? So it's just one of those things. Like that's it's surprising, but it's not. Like, I mean, that being said, he didn't let in a goal.
Yeah.
He looked fine.
I mean, I feel like...
How many saves did he have? 3?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
He didn't really get very much. I feel like the leash on Frankie is going to be a hell of a lot shorter next game, though.
Maybe.
Because if they get 3 goals quick like that again, boom, get them out.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's nothing to lose at that point. If we go down 3-0 next game, it just yank them, get them out.
If they go down 3 goals next game, it's over. Just turn the TV off.
Probably.
We'll
see. We'll see how we're playing, and we go down 3-0.
You can't give a team a 3-goal handicap. You just can't.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
You can't put that on yourself repeatedly as well. You're just gonna wear yourself out. That's not how you win playoff series. At all.
I was looking at the odds today, yesterday, Game 3, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3 and Game 4, the Dallas Stars were plus 165 underdogs for the win against the Avs.
Mm-hmm.
They're now up 3-1. I'm going to be really surprised if tomorrow they're not favorites.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd have to think.
But, right? Like, they were up 2-1. They were plus 165 favorites. Or underdogs, right? Like, they're still not getting credit. But, again, they didn't win this game. The Avs just lost this game. And that's the hard thing to wrap my head around right now. And the thing that's so disappointing and frustrating.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the way we envisioned these playoffs going and this series going. And, I mean, if there was something, like, you know, against Arizona, it was Kemper. Against Dallas, yeah, we were thinking, like Bishop initially, right? We're not thinking we're playing ourselves out of this series. We're saying someone could be hot, a goalie could be hot, a defense could be hot, and shut us down. Not we're shutting ourselves down.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it, man.
Well, I think that's enough of that depressing episode.
We're gonna see what happens between
we're gonna see
this
you
episode and next
for
episode.
Game 6 post game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We will see you.
Well, yeah.
Wednesday for a post game show. We better see you on Wednesday for a post game show.
I was gonna say, yeah. Hopefully.
No, Jared. Positive
there.
thoughts, Jared. We're getting to Game 6. We're having a post game.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a positive one.
Okay. Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the happiest post game ever on Wednesday.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. We're gonna prep a Friday Game 7. It's gonna be good. Tune in Wednesday.
Yeah.
After the game.
Yeah. You heard it.
Hopefully.
First.
Again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
I'm confident.
The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter @HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.